today I'm excited to talk with you because I'm going to be diving into an area of confidence, which is self-promotion, that many of us consider to be a scary thing or consider to be an icky thing. And so we're going to dive into how you can self-promote as a professional without feeling that icky, salesy attitude or scared to do it, because we all need to do it as a professional, as a student. It doesn't matter who you are. So we're going to dive into that today. Okay, so let's jump into self-promotion as a professional and what that looks like. So if you've been joining me this week, I've done a few lives already, and I've predominantly been talking about confidence and what that looks like. Okay, so just so you guys know, the research does show that the #1 success factor in the professional world is confidence. It's not your technique, it's your confidence. And so I want you to think about that for a second, because at some point, everyone is going to cap out with their technique, meaning that the playing field is going to be even. There's only so many professionals that can have the same type of master's or the same type of experience or the same credentials. And what's going to make you different or set you apart is your confidence and your emotional intelligence and your ability to take risk and make the ask and self-promote, which is what we're talking about today. I've had the honor and the great blessing of being invited to the largest Google conference of the year, 30,000 people, Next 19, where we went in and we coached professionals on confidence and leadership. And every time we work with a client or a company, it's great for us because we collect data, and data is so important for the work that we do to figure out, what are some of the common denominators that professionals around the world have. And what we found is one of the top challenges for professionals, every time we do coaching or work with clients, one of the top challenges for professionals is self-promotion. Is how do I promote myself, especially if I want to get to the next level and I want to make a shift in my career? How do I do that? How do I put myself out there as someone who is an expert, who has done great work without feeling icky or uncomfortable or like I'm making a sales pitch? And so what I want to do today is I've taken the top 4 strategies that have found to be very useful for our clients and the work and the experience that we've been doing, and I'm going to give them to you today so that you can take and you can start implementing. Okay, so let's jump in. The #1 thing that I want you to start doing and looking at when it comes to self-promotion is the data, okay? And that is the data about yourself, so the facts. So the facts don't lie, okay? And so I want you to write down, like, what are the great things that you've done professionally in your career or as a performer or academically? What are the companies that you worked for? How long have you been there? What are some projects that you were on that showed results that were successful? Do you have any leaders or bosses that have said great things about you or praised you, or any awards, any accolades, any degrees, any certifications that you have? I want you to write them all down. And I don't want you to write them down in a resume fashion. I just want you to do bullet point. Okay, when I was 21, I got my first job at MailChimp, and I worked there for 3 years as a website developer. When I was 24, another recruiter found me and they asked me to come over to Microsoft. When I was 25, I got my master's in organizational development. By the time I was 27, so I just want you to write these things down in bullet points, because facts do not lie. You can't argue with the facts. And sometimes our #1 enemy is our mind. It's our thoughts. So we say something to ourselves and we're like, nah, that's not true. Am I really good enough? Do I really have what it takes? Am I really an expert in what I do? Am I qualified? But the facts you cannot argue with, okay? So if you put down on a piece of paper that you have a master's degree in leadership, you can't argue with that. It's either true or it's false. If you put down that you worked with a company for 8 years and you saw these results in your projects, you can't argue with that. It's either true or it's false. And that's the first step to really self-promoting yourself, is writing down all the things that are absolutely true. And you'd be surprised how many of us would be impressed by our own resume that we don't take the time to just sit down and write and look at and see, like, wow, oh my gosh, this is true. When I do this for myself too, even though I run my own company and I've had great success, which I'm very blessed and proud of, I still do it, where I write down, I said, okay, let's start from the beginning. When I was 16 years old, I started teaching young kids in the cheer club in the local community. By the time I was 18 years old, I was at college working on my degree. By the time I was 20, I was traveling the world with an incredible organization called the Young Americans. And by the time I was 22, I was in 24 different countries. So these are all facts that I have to write down and remember that, okay, this gives me credibility. And this is something that I can bring to the table as a professional and as an expert. So that's tip number one. Look at the facts because the facts don't lie. Number two, phrasing it with gratitude. So again, we hear a lot of times, well, selling is icky, right? Or it makes me feel uncomfortable, or it makes me feel like I'm boasting, or that I'm stuck up and I'm tooting my own horn. And yeah, to tell you the truth, in some cases you do have to toot your own horn. But when you phrase it with gratitude, okay, A, it makes you feel better. And B, it comes across better as well, okay? So for example, I don't know if you noticed, but when I talked about Google earlier, I said, I've had the great honor. I've been blessed. Thankfully, this has happened. And so these are the kind of words that we want to put in front, right? I've had the great honor of working with Microsoft for 10 plus years. It really changed me as a professional. Okay, so what you're doing there is you're indirectly telling that person, yeah, I worked with Microsoft for 10 years. I haven't, by the way, I'm just giving you an example. So putting these little phrases of gratitude in front, I'm blessed, I was honored, I was fortunate enough to, and also bragging about the other people that you've worked with. I've had an amazing client who has seen some great results from the work that we've done together. I'm so proud of this individual that I'm coaching right now. Here's what she's accomplished. And so now you're bragging about other people that have been directly affected by your work. Okay, so again, number two, good morning, Nina from Germany. This is great, you guys. We have people from Canada, from Germany, from all over the world that are joining in. So this is really cool. So again, number two is phrasing your accomplishments with gratitude, okay? I've been honored, I'm blessed, I'm fortunate enough to, I'm so proud of my client. These are great ways to set yourself up for success and to self-promote without feeling that it's too icky. Number three is see it as a task. Okay, so just like we go into our career, right? We go into our profession and we have all these things that we need to do and we check them off. It's part of our job description. I want you to start understanding that self-promotion is a part of your job description because that is the only way that you're going to grow your career. You have to remember that unfortunately, leaders and bosses and CEOs, they're too busy to keep track of everybody else and their success. So it's up to you to make it a task, a high priority task on your list to constantly be promoting and letting people know like, hey, I'd love to achieve this next level. I'm ready for this promotion. I would love to apply for this job offering that's opening up. I'm ready to be pushed to that next step. Or maybe you're looking to transition out of your corporate job or your 9-to-5 job and build something of your own. Start putting that out there in the community. But again, you have to remember that a lot of times our bosses, our leaders, our CEOs, they're not looking at every single individual and keeping track of their accomplishments, okay? They're basically making sure that you're hitting the benchmarks and that you're successful in the company. But if you're doing great work or you're going above and beyond and you're ready to get to that next level, it's up to you to self-promote. You have to be your number one advocate. And if you remember anything from today, remember that you have to be your number one advocate because nobody is going to talk you up the way that you can talk you up. And vice versa, nobody tears you down the way that we tear ourselves down. We're either our best friend or our number one enemy. And I want you to be your best friend because you need it when it comes to your career. So again, number three is seeing it as a task. Okay, think of it as your job description. Remember that every single professional, whether you're a coach, whether you run your own company, whether you're a CEO, okay, you have a personal brand. Everybody has a personal brand, and I want you to start advocating for it. And again, seeing it as a task. Number four is self-promotion, but indirectly is that we need to beef up your LinkedIn or your personal website or whatever you have that's online, that's basically your online resume or receipt, we need to beef that up with testimonials and with recommendations. Specifically, if you're a professional in the corporate space, you should be on LinkedIn. Or if you run your own company, or if you're a coach, every single individual should have a LinkedIn page. And this is a great place for you to seek out recommendations from individuals that you've worked with, leaders that you've had, bosses, employees, employers, it doesn't matter who. Seek out recommendations and start to beef up your LinkedIn profile, because people also want to see that other people trust you and that you built relationships. I cannot tell you thankfully, how many clients Rise Up For You has got simply by saying, hey, why don't you go check out my LinkedIn page, and you can look at all of the testimonials and the referrals that are there, and you can decide for yourself. And that's very, very powerful. And so that is step number 4, is start beefing up your LinkedIn page. If you don't have a LinkedIn page, start now. This is the best time to start while we're at home. Okay, while we're at home reflecting and working remotely, this is the time to go to your LinkedIn page and start adding these things in there and messaging people for a recommendation or a referral to put on LinkedIn. Or if you have a personal website, then you can start adding some testimonials. If I know you personally and we've worked together in some capacity, I'd be happy to send you one. So you can send me a message on LinkedIn and tell me what you're looking for. And again, if we've worked together, then I'd be happy to send you one, because I know that we've probably done some great stuff together. Okay, so those are my 4 tips. Again, is look at the facts, because the facts don't lie. Number 2 is phrasing it with gratitude. Number 3 is prioritizing it as a task, just like you would with anything else in your job description in your career. And number 4 is go to LinkedIn and go to your personal website if you have one, and continue to beef it up with recommendations and testimonials so that people can see what other people are saying about you, because again, that's powerful. All right, so does anybody have any questions for me about self-promotion? While you're maybe thinking about a question or two, I will let you know that the Rise Up For You team, myself, Dakota, Jake, Kathy, we're gonna be hitting Instagram, Facebook Live from here on out, even after we get out of quarantine, because it's just such a powerful thing. Good morning, Cody. It's great to see you. And so we're going to be hitting live, and I am going to be bringing on some other experts as well, just to like switch it up and have a conversation and do some interviewing. And so I know next week on Friday, I'm going to be bringing on a confidence expert. Her name is Kimberly Seltzer. And we're going to be talking about the dangers of what if and when I. Okay, so that's next week, but I'll post about it. Okay, so a couple questions. How do you prevent self-promotion coming off as an ego issue? That's a really great question, because ego is such a powerful thing, right? I mean, to tell you the truth, we are constantly dealing with our ego, whether it's positive or not so positive. And I think that going back to gratitude can really help with the ego issue. And I think that that's why it's scary for people, right? Because they don't want to come across egotistical, or they don't want to come across that they're being salesy or that they're being icky. But when you phrase it with gratitude, when you talk about other people and their successes that you've been involved with, then it's no longer a matter of ego, right? You're celebrating and you're showing up with honor and with humility. Joey, on LinkedIn, the recommendations is one of the most underutilized sections on your profile, and it is the top 2 important areas on your LinkedIn profile. Joey, thank you so much. That is so true. It is so true. You'd be surprised by how many people don't utilize LinkedIn. And so get on there. Again, if you don't have a LinkedIn page, get over there today, or make it a to-do list on your task and start building that LinkedIn page. I love my LinkedIn page. You're more than welcome to go over there and just like take and the different template and the format. I had somebody that was brilliant that helped me do that as well. So please, it doesn't matter if you're a performer or what you do. Everybody should have a LinkedIn page. If you're a student, get on there and start building it and making connections. Janan, how much promotion is too much? I hate when I'm inundated with people's business ads. Okay, so that's a really good question. I know, and that's part of wanting to set it up with gratitude and with humility and honor, right? And The last thing we want to do, Janan, you bring up a really good point. The last thing that you want to do is inundate people, right? And so constantly sending them emails and messages about my business, my business, my business, my business. So do you need to self-promote? Absolutely. Otherwise, they're not going to know that you're there. But one of the greatest ways of self-promoting, like if you run your own company, which I know Janan is chiming in from Canada, she runs her own company, is to give things away for free. Like just add value and give knowledge. And this is, to tell you the truth, this is a great way of promoting yourself because you are giving value away for free. You're supporting individuals. You're bringing them into the conversation and you're not asking for anything in return. And if they need you, or if they need your expertise or your skill, or they want to buy from you, then they're going to come and find you because they're going to remember the quality that you gave them, and they're going to remember the value that you gave them just because. And again, that goes back down to gratitude and giving with humility. So I would say that you definitely have to promote yourself, but give value at the same time. So one of the techniques, I'm going to share a technique or a secret with you guys, and there's quite a few people that are doing this well in the industry, is just sending an email that says, hey, I hope you're doing amazing. I just wrote this new article on da 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 da. I'd love to share it with you. So this is indirectly you self-promoting because you're setting yourself up as the expert. And the more you do that, the more you stay top of mind. Question from Justin, is higher self-esteem, does it increase self-confidence and leads to incorrect decisions? I'm not sure I followed the question here, but let me take a stab at it. So a lot of times people get self-esteem and confidence confused. And just so you know, self-esteem is like the cousin to confidence, okay? So self-esteem is how you value yourself and the way that you see yourself, and confidence is the deep inner belief and intuition that you have in yourself to take action to move forward. And so self-esteem is very, very, very important. But one of the things that we talk about when it comes to confidence and self-esteem is accurate self-assessment. So ensuring that that you have an accurate perception of yourself. And that's why, Justin, it's so important to have people around you that can also keep you grounded and help you have that accurate assessment of yourself. And so that's a really great question, and thanks for that. Any other questions? Those were all really great questions. And Joey, thank you for reiterating and validating how important it is to have LinkedIn, because it's very important today. Thanks for showing up on a Saturday. To tell you the truth, all the days are jumbled together, so I can't tell if it's a weekend or not, but it's great having you guys here. And again, we will be jumping on Insta Live and Facebook Live all throughout the week. If you have any young adults, if you have any young kids that are 14 to 21 years old, then make sure you check out Rise Up For You, because our youth mentors and coaches are also going to be talking about self-esteem, confidence, anxiety, and depression for young kids. And so you'll want to have your kids join if you have any young adults that are, again, 13 to about 21 years old. Other than that, again, it's been an honor to be here with you guys. I love just having these conversations because, again, it is super important. Confidence, emotional intelligence, it makes up 75 to 80% of your success, and yet it's the thing that we put on the back burner, and it's so important to keep it top of mind. Because I always say, it doesn't matter how much technique you can have 1 million degrees, 1 million credentials, you can have all the great things in the world, but if you don't have the confidence to go and take action and to execute, it does not serve you. Okay, so go out there, take action, feel confident, believe in yourself, and realize that you are enough. And that's all you need to know, is that you are enough and that you can do it. So thank you again. Stay safe. Stay safe. Don't forget to keep on the lookout, because again, myself and Rise Up For You, we're going to be doing Insta and Facebook Live all throughout the week from here on out. We're just going to keep doing it because it's fun, it's great, and we enjoy engaging with our community. Have an amazing day, and I will see you in a few days on here. Bye.